Hello and welcome to yet another program on the Counselor Show, home of best living and sound mental health. My name is Dhombiwa Derito. There was once a certain girl who lived with her mother in a small village house on a hill. Every morning she would wake up to a panoramic view of the surrounding homes in the valley below. She looked at them with awe and wonderment, wishing that she could be allowed to live in one of them. According to her, they were beautiful, they were awesome, they were magnificent. There was this one house in particular that mesmerized her a lot. She enjoyed looking at it from the vantage of her bedroom window. She visualized herself living in one of the fantastic rooms of this palace. The more she thought of this house, the more anxious she became. The more she hated her mother's house, much more her own room that was plain and boring. From afar, the palace towered over the others like a king's castle. As the sun shone on it, it struck her with golden rays. The windows shone with better rays every morning as if to scorn her humble dwelling. She always desired to live in that golden house. She always sought permission to visit the palace of her dreams, and her mother turned her down with an explanation. When you are of age, I will let you go. But remember, things are not always as they seem. When she was finally of age, her mother allowed her to venture outside her compound. She anxiously took her bicycle and rode downhill. Her heart raced with anticipation as she headed to the gates of the Golden Palace. This was her chance to get into the palace she always desired to live in. Her mind went wild with imagination. She openly smiled, and everyone she met knew she was headed to one of her best adventures in life. When she got there, she impatiently jumped off her bike and left it to roll the rest of the distance. She literally sprinted to the gate, which had this modern look that struck her as kingly. There it was. Her coveted bungalow was right in front of her. As she pressed the bell, her breathing was conspicuously loud. No one answered the bell. She decided to push the gate. It noisily accepted her overtures. Alas, what met her eyes was the least of her expectations. It was the greatest disappointment of her life. What looked attractive from her viewpoint of her small bedroom window was a monument of neglect. The doors were rotting away, the floor had gaping potholes, the windows were covered with dust and cobwebs of abandonment. The once beautiful embankments were now greenish with chlorophyll. The flowers round the house were unsightly unattended. The walls of the house were tiredly pleading for attention. Then it struck her. The golden reflection that always greeted her from her bedroom window was due to the dusty window panes and the exaggeration of the early morning sun rays. Disappointed and crestfallen, she rode back home. Then, out of the blues, a small house that had glistening windows, a neat lawn, and a well-kept hedge emerged from the horizon. Her hopes were restored. Maybe she had gone to the wrong house. It was an awe-inspiring scene. She rode faster and with anticipation. As she approached the house, she started seeing familiar things on the compound. Finally, she reached the gate. There it was, her small, glistening house that she had disliked with a passion for years. It was her harbour abode. How desire for other people's houses and dislike for her own had made her miss the beauty of what she possessed. She went to her mother and told her the story. After a measured laughter, she told her, "Things are not always what they seem." The greatest human trap in life is covetousness. Torturing yourself and desiring what others have, and despising what you have, and constantly thinking that what you have is of lower quality or inferior to your neighbors is a disease. Before you covet what others have and despise what you have, take stock of what you have, appreciate it, use it, and give it a chance to give you happiness, to push you to the next stage of life. If it is your marriage, the syndrome of grass is greener on the other side of the fence is always a mirage. It is falsehood. If you ever find yourself admiring what others have over what you have, do not do things at the spur of the moment. Delay your gratification until you are in a position to look at the item of admiration more maturely, more soberly, and logically. When you look at the details, you might find that you have a more valuable thing than what you are admiring and running after. Do not allow yourself to fall into the ditch of familiarity because it breeds contempt. Take care of your wife. Take care of your husband. Take care of your fiancé. Take care of your house. And avoid being covetous of your neighbors. Many marriages have broken because we have thought that our neighbors' wives are better than ours. Our neighbors' husbands are better than ours. Our houses are worse than others. What we have is the worst in the world. Let us take care of what we have. Let us take care of our families. Let us take care of our spouses. Let us take care of our relationships, because that is where our happiness resides. Have you picked any other lesson from this story? Comment below this video. And thank you for watching. And always be grateful for what you have. We are grateful having you as our audience. If you are new here, consider subscribing